What's up, y'all? I just wanted to give y'all a couple channel updates, nothing too big or major, but wanted to get something out there. So as you may have seen on the community page, my current review of Angel Heart has been blocked on YouTube thus far. So currently working to hopefully get that resolved. Hopefully there's not a copyright strike or anything involved, but we'll see. But it might be up to a week before that video can be published. So wanted to get something out to you so you guys have something to watch, and then so the YouTube algorithm gods don't completely erase me from the universe. So we're gonna do something a little bit different today. Not a really long video, but I wanted to show y'all the new set as the channel is gonna start looking a little bit different. It was gonna debut in the Angel Heart video, but y'all are gonna get to see it now, I guess. For a while, I had wanted to integrate some of my horror movie and just horror related stuff into the channel. I really like the polished look of the green screen with the skull hamburgers that I've had in the background since I started the channel, but I wanted to feel a little more homey, a little more personable, and just a little more fun. So we're finally gonna make a little visual switch. So now you can see I've got some of my favorite little objects over here. We've got this fucked up mug I found in a West Virginia antique store. I absolutely love it. We've got this weird little wooden ghost that I made when I was in college. We call him Ghosty. Rubber Rad, you guys have all probably seen him in like a dollar store before. I call him Remy. Anybody can cook. This is my Godzilla. I have had him since I was like a little boy, probably like 8 years old, and I've tried very hard to take good care of him. Some of my toys didn't make it through the destructive little boy years, but Godzilla made it through okay. This little red T-Rex I actually got at the Field Museum. For those who don't know, it's a big museum in Chicago where I lived for 2 years, and they have the most complete T-Rex skeleton, and her name or their name is Sue, and you can use some old-timey machine to make a little plastic T-Rex. Very fun, I'd recommend. We've got this adorable little Chucky that my good friend Uncle Pete gave me. Shout out Uncle Pete, go check out his channel. Then we've got a Leatherface. I've had him for a few years now, maybe 5 or so years now, but yes, I really want to get into collecting more realistic, high quality figurines of horror characters. So I think you'll start to see more into the channel pretty soon. And then what I'm probably most excited about are these really, really badass sculpts of different horror characters that my friend Tommy got me for my bachelor party. So you can see we've got the creature from the Black Lagoon, Pumpkinhead, and then Swamp Thing. And these were made by a really cool artist, I believe on Etsy, who goes by Cthulhu Gizzard, and I absolutely recommend checking him out. He's got a ton of different pieces, and they're not too expensive, and for the quality, I would say it's really, really worth it, and they're super cool. You can mount them right on the wall, you could do all kinds of different things with them, so super, super awesome. Oh, we've also got a Squid Game mask that I wore on a Halloween, as well as my Mothman search team hat. That one gets a lot of laughs when I wear it out in public. And cute little Michael Myers keychain. I don't wear it out in public. I feel like a certain amount of horror stuff you wear in public, you start to see a white man who wears too much slasher stuff, it raises some concerned eyebrows. So I try to keep it to the goofier B-movie type stuff when I'm out in public, but I figured this will be a good home for it. We've also got a few books here. I've got a pretty good book collection, only some of which is horror, a lot of art books, things like that. But we've got an H.R. Geiger book, which I think is it Geiger? I always say Geiger, don't know if that's right. Please feel free to correct me in the comments, but really cool book full of his illustrations. He's the guy that designed the Xenomorph and things like that. So you can get an idea of the fucked up things that are in there. Danger on the Silver Screen, that one is less horror and more about exploitation filmmaking and lots of dangerous stunts that took place in those kinds of films. The Teenage Slasher movie book is really, really, really cool. It's just a book all about teenage slasher films and gives you a lot of cool poster art, tells you the history of some films, so definitely recommend looking that up. The UFO Handbook, this book is old as fucking dirt. This was around my house when I was a little boy, and I always loved it. My dad is really into Bigfoot, aliens, any kind of cryptids, so these kinds of books were always around, and I kind of snuck this one out of the house, and it's mine now. And finally, there's these books called Fright Fest guides that you can get, and it's just all about different genres of different kinds of horror movies, and this one's all about werewolf movies. So it'll have everything in there from The Howling and American Werewolf in London, but also really niche movies I had never heard of before. So they can be really helpful. And I found this in a Barnes and Noble. So I love seeing that horror-related books are moving into more common spaces, for lack of a better word. So you can really find cool books and other things everywhere you go now. But yeah, that's a brief look at the new set. I think there will be some continuously new things coming in to help liven up the space. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. But then also in addition to that, I went on a little thrift store hunt today and found some really cool horror stuff. It's all shirts, so I'm just gonna give you guys a little fashion show real quick. First up, one I've been wearing this whole episode, we've got a really fun Beetlejuice shirt. I gives like cool vintage vibes. Haven't seen one quite like this before, so I had to pick it up. I'm just gonna leave my glasses off for the rest of this. I can't see you, but you can see me. How do I look without my glasses? I'm sure the lights reflecting on them are real annoying, but I just don't have the patience for contacts anymore, so apologies for that. But yeah, we've got this fun one. It says Spooky Cool on it, and I'm really just a sucker for any long sleeve shirt that has stuff printed on the sides. I always love the look of it. But yeah, no idea what this brand is, if this was someone's personal project or what, but yeah, super cool, super cute, big Halloween vibes. All right, this one's not horror, but it was just too good to pass up on. I fucking love King of the Hill, and obviously Bobby Hill is the star on top of the little mountain of King of the Hill, so I just could not pass up a shirt this funny. And finally, this is the last one. It's a Tommy shirt. Yeah, I've just never seen one of these before in my life out in public, which is super exciting. I had no idea if this is like a special edition or if it's old or if I'm just old and out of the loop and don't know what is and isn't out in the fashion world. But yeah, you get this really great, just classic Ito illustration, and yeah, it definitely feels a little bit aged, but I honestly love that in a horror shirt. It feels like it's had some years out in the world and it's probably wreaked some havoc on its way. So yeah, that's a little horror haul that I did today. Have never done a video quite like this before. It's really just to fill space, but if you enjoyed this, let me know and I'd be happy to do more in the future when I go out and do some shopping. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope that the Angel Heart video can come up soon, but if not, apologies. Either way, I hope y'all have a really great weekend, and yeah, thanks for joining me on Hamburgers and Horror. Stay safe out there.